How's it going, Lone Riders? On this channel we show you how we develop adventure motorcycling products from the idea right through until when we ship it. And just as important, we take feedback directly from you down in the comments down below and we build that into the product. So if you like that kind of stuff, real world product development, subscribe and leave your comment. We read them and we build them into the product. Today we're talking about a product concept we've already mentioned here once before, specifically on the French channel with Baptiste. This is a modular rear light system. This is not a finished product yet. This is even plastic 3D prototyped, 3D printed, and we're still in the concept stage. Why are we making this? Well, you guys asked for it. This has been one of our most requested products for a long time. The second reason is motorcycles are changing. Manufacturers are integrating more functions into a tighter unit. So this is for design reasons, for cost reasons, and on bikes, for example, on the BMW R1300 GS and GS Adventure, the rear light is also now the indicators combined. So the rear center light is often just gone, just removed completely. And in some cases, this just reduces visibility. So that brings us to the third reason, safety. On a motorcycle, it really does matter to be seen. It really does matter. And especially in bad weather, if you're riding in groups, if you're riding off-road, on-road, and just daily commutes. So the goal is pretty simple, just to increase that rear visibility for other road users just to see you. And we want to integrate that design into the bike without compromise. The core idea here is, instead of developing like multiple different lights, what we're doing is a little bit smarter. At the core we have one LED module. It's the same LEDs, the same PCB, the same lens, and from there all we do is change the housing around it. That means that we can create different mounting positions, different bike specific integrations, and then we have the same electronics, we have the same legal base, and we can create multiple products without reinventing the electronics. It takes time, it takes a lot of time to develop the PCB and test the lights and all that stuff. So we're going to use one module and then just change the housing around it to fit the application. So our first application is, we've already pretty much made it. This is a pilot product and the installation is pretty simple. It goes on the back of a number plate. It's fixed, it's a fixed light, and we drill into the number plate and we bolt it to that number plate. And so it's a universal solution, and it uses the most basic functions of the LED. It's a proof of concept. So the second application is for the BMW GS and GSA, specifically this 3D printed test here. So we've got the housing and we want to put it under the top case rack at the top there. It's above the license plate and it's above all the rear sensors, so it's super clean and protective, and it's also very integrated into the bike. We want it to be super integrated like an OEM part. This is one possible locations because the LED module stays the same size. But for other positions, this is where your input matters. So the whole point of this system is flexibility. Because we're using the same LED module, we can create different bike-specific housings and universal housings. We can do different mounting positions around the bike. So the question really is, where else should we put this light on the bike? Like, we've got it under the number plate and we're going to put it under the rear rack of the BMW. But maybe front markers, you want a front marker light, maybe you want it on other bikes entirely. Tell us which bike, which location. It's really important that you say why that place is a good idea. For example, it's on the side of the bike and it has no context, but maybe it's because when you get off the bike you want to see where you're standing, or that's where you may be fixing your bike, so you need an intense light there, or you need to change something on the bike in the dark, or just a camping light or something like that. So we can do many functions with this one LED. We can do tail light, which is a consistent burn. We can do a brake light, which is higher intensity. We can do indication functions because we're going to connect it to the motor can. And we can also use that data, the bike data, to access that function and then control the light with that, for example, indication. That opens the door to many functions. So for example, integrating this with the motor can, we can do brake light activations. We can do like activations when there's strong engine braking, flashing, for example, or deceleration. We can also add on different like warnings, modules, indication, all that kind of stuff. So the software takes time to develop. So if you have any features, now's a good time to share them and we'll look at it and try and build it in as quick as possible. So the module consists of an electronic board with LEDs. It's got a sealed casing container and an external lens. We've kind of gone with a uniform color here, so you don't see the LEDs. We think it just looks much better, and that's a smooth diffused light. It looks awesome. So this video is not about a finished product, it's about explaining the concept, showing you the direction, and collecting your feedback. So before we lock anything in, tell us in the comments down below, where would you mount this light? Where's the best position for you and your bike and why? And we'll use that input to develop that into the next housing. So that's it for me, guys. If you have some crazy ideas or some unique ideas about where we could put this light, let me know and we'll look into it. More ideas the merrier. And in the next couple of videos, we'll let you know which way we went. That's it for me, guys. Take it easy. Catch you next time.